Genius. Real man of genius. Today, we salute you, Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer. Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer. While lesser designers would shy away from putting 300-pound men in spandex, you embrace it. Yes, you do. Pushing fashion to its limits, literally. You pair tights with a cape, a leotard with a mask, leather boots with a thong. Ow, looking good. All understated ways of saying, I'm going to rip your head off and look fabulous doing it. So this bud's for you, Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Guy. Because without you, a man crushing another man's head in his arms would just look silly. Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer.
I miss those commercials. Phil Collins said it best, just another day in paradise. NYWCites, I am the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. Going the Distance 2014 is now in the history books. What a awesome times it always seems to be at the NYWC Sportatorium. This show kicks off with Reckless and Wasted, JT Cason and Braden Knight coming to the ring with the big dog Steve Forge. And they were followed by Jesse Vane and Matt Justice, Bill Carr and Apollyon, and Milk Chocolate, all wondering why they're not getting a shot at the Tag Team Championship, which led up to an impromptu four-way number one contenders match, which saw Milk Chocolate defeat Reckless and Wasted, Jesse Vane and Matt Justice, and Apollyon and Bill Carr to become the number one contenders of the Tag Team Championship. Up next in singles action, we saw the return of the Lariat DJ Hyde, who hadn't been in NYWC since Psycho Circus earlier this year, as he defeated the highest flyer, Kevin Corcoran, known to many as the Grim Reaper. Then in tag team action, Premier Athlete Anthony Nese and the Greek god Papa Don, I think they're calling themselves the Premier Gods, they defeated Battlestar Galactica, which is Drew Gulak and Chainsaw Joe Gacy in a very good tag team contest. Up next, Francis Kipling Stevens came to the ring, and he addressed Brian Vitko, Jamie Van Leemer, and Casanova Valentine, who were sitting in the front row over what happened last month at Fusion. Francis said he put in a favor to NYWC, and he would get to have a fight with one of them, and Casanova Valentine decided he would fight Francis. However, Vitko and Van Leemer would be ousted from the building to prevent them from going over the rail. So the match was on, and Francis hit his top rope finisher on Casanova, but then ref Joey claimed that Valentine got his shoulders up, but he did not. And as Francis argued with him, ref Joey popped Francis right in the face with a right hand, and Joey took off his referee's shirt. At that point, the rest of security, Vitko and Van Leemer had come back through the back, coming back inside through the back door, and security hit the ring, as well as NYWC co-owner Shane to throw Casanova and I guess now former ref Joey out of the building. Up next was Marty Bell challenging Chrissy Rivera for the Starlet Championship with guest referee Rick Cataldo. Cataldo ended up attacking both Chrissy and Marty, and Cataldo called for the bell, declaring a double disqualification. Well, of course, really was a no contest, is the way I look at it. Chrissy Rivera is still Starlet champion. Up next, the Desolate One, Rex Lawless, defeated Flawless Blake Morris to retain the Fusion title. Just as the match was beginning, Morris had a surprise for Rex in the form of the Lariat DJ Hyde. Early on in the match, the referee caught Hyde attacking Rex and ejected him from ringside. And eventually, Rex picked up the win. They went to intermission after that one. Many NYWC were out there, out and about, doing meet and greet, shall we say. Always chaotic at intermission. We resumed the action with what was scheduled to be a handicap match with Starlet Killer Aria Cadenza taking on Debbie Kane and Sammy Pickles. Pickles took the microphone, and she talked about that last month Debbie Kane pulled her out of the ring, but Pickles landed right on her head and decided it was going to be a three-way match. And the match was on, and Cadenza had picked up both Debbie and Sammy for a double Samoan drop. And as Cadenza was like basking in what she had just done, Pickles draped her arm over Debbie and got the 3 count. And even though Cadenza did not pick up the win, she still remains unpinned. Up next, we saw a return bout from Fusion as Habali Jr. defeated Ultimo Maya in a very good match. Up next, Alvin Alvarez comes to the ring with Justin Toxic and Jay Red, and Alvin takes the microphone saying, you know, this new thing with NYWC out with the old and with the new. Well, we've been busting our asses for the last 3 years in this company, and we haven't really gotten a break. And Alvin introduced Kano, formerly Justin Toxic, and Jay Money, formerly known as Jay Red. And eventually Alvin talked about that Anthony the Stallion Lassara was featured on the flyer, and they weren't. Lassara comes out with a microphone, and I forgot what he ended up saying, but he was followed by King Mega and the Devil's Outlaw Stockade, which led up to a 6-man tag team match, which saw King Mega, Stockade, and the Stallion Anthony Lassara defeat Alvin, Absolute Alvin, Kano, and Jay Money, who are now collectively calling themselves the A-Listers. A very good, fun 6-man tag team matchup. Up next, the Big O basically made mincemeat out of the Latin Dragon. Up next, the Juicy Product, JT Dunn and David Starr, defeated Rack and Sack, Nicky Adams and Dickie Ross to become the new tag team champions. After the match had ended, Milk Chocolate, Brandon Watts, and Randy Summers hit the ring, and they're looking for a handshake, and Juicy Proc wouldn't give it to him. And I really thought they were going to do that, have their tag title match right then and there. And that was not the case. Then it was main event time as we saw No Fear Mike Mondo defend this heavyweight championship against Mikey Whipwreck in a tables match. Couldn't believe there was like 4 tables around the ring thanks to the 2 referees, Corey Price and I think Chris is the other referee's name. Well, very, very good matchup, which saw they eventually took it through the curtain and then out by that, came back through that door where everyone goes backstage, and they were in the crowd for a while. Whipwreck attempted to superplex Mondo through a table like he did last month at Fusion, but Mondo superplexed Whipwreck back into the ring. Whipwreck hit Mondo with a whipper-snapper through a table. One referee claimed Whipwreck went through the table first. The other referee claimed Mondo went through a table first. And both referees told ring announcer Jason Linick the match would have to continue. Whipwreck comes back in the ring. Jesse Vane and Matt Justice attack Whipwreck. Eventually, that leads up to Milk Chocolate coming after them, followed by Apollyon and Bill Carr, followed by King Mega and Stockade. Eventually, most of those tag teams had left the ringside area. Blake Morris comes out. He tried to hit Whipwreck with the championship belt, only to be stopped by the Desolate One, Rex Lawless. Oh, so much chaos. Then, after Rex chases Morris to the back, Big O came out, cleaned house of Justice in vain. Whipwreck attempted to spit green mist at Mondo, but he ducked and he spit into the eyes of the Big O. And then Mondo says to Whipwreck, "Good job, Mikey," and high-fived him, only to get hit with another whipper-snapper. And Whipwreck set up a table with I think like one leg was broken, so he positioned it on one, had used the chair to hold up one end of the table. Mondo had gone to the top rope, and I forgot what he was planning to do, but Whipwreck caught him. And I believe this is a move I haven't seen Mikey perform in years. Whipwreck Franken-Mikey'd Mondo off the top rope through the table to become the new NYWC Heavyweight Champion. And now Whipwreck joins Mondo and Dickie Rise as the only men to have ever three-peated as NYWC's Lords of the Mountain, so to speak. Now on to our personal notes. Welcome back to lovely Jessica Dinezzo for her first show since April Rain. Welcome back cameraman Carlos, who hadn't filmed Filmed a show for NYWC since Aftermath. Welcome back photographers Eric L. Cooper and Evan Arno, hadn't photographed NYWC in 2 years. Hope you two gentlemen will be coming for Trust No One on Thursday, July 24th, and I'll get back to that very shortly. Great seeing Greg and Sarah Gruber. Steven Scogan, Jim Lundis. I noticed you walking around the Sportatorium, so don't whine to me that I didn't mention your name in this particular video. And while I'm on the subject, great seeing the pretty lovely Samantha Fox. Are you satisfied like Richard Marks? Want me to mention your name as well. Good talking to some of NYWC's roster at the after party, even though we couldn't stay very long. Well, here's a memorable quote, but I forgot who said it. Worst promo ever! Somebody in the crowd towards Sammy Pickles when she took the microphone. For the second month in a row, NYWC had 12 matches on their show. After, as I remember talking with Alvin after the show, obviously NYWC's squeezing everybody onto the show, it appears. I definitely would like to see... Oh, hold on. Nah, fuck it. That can wait. Okay, well, as we know, next show will be Thursday, July 24th, as NYWC presents Trust No One. Here's my wish list. I'd like to see Mikey Whipwreck defend his newly won championship against the Big O. I'd like to see Reckless and Wasted take on Matt Justice and Jesse Vane. King Mega and Stockade take on Apollyon and Bill Carr. I can see Rex Lawless one-on-one with DJ Hyde. Three-way matchup for the Starlet title. Chris Rivera, Marty Bell, and Rick Cataldo. Debbie Kane one-on-one with Sammy Pickles. Anthony Lucero one-on-one with Absolute Alvin. Rack and Sack, I'll put them against the other A-listers, Kano and J Money. Now, this was quite an awesome event here, and Francis Kipling Stevens against maybe Jamie Van Leemer. I'd like to see a rematch between Premier Gods, Papa Don and Tony Nese against Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, I think that's pretty much will do it for a wish list. Can't wait to see that show. And Going to Distance 2014, very well done. And as always, NYWC rules.